Jai Hind everyone. Welcome to my YouTube channel Explore Yourselves, Banking and General Knowledge etc. The events of 9th November 2024 are follows. Bengali date 23 Kartik 1431. As per Benimadov Ponjika, today's Tithi is Shukla Ashtami and up to 1822 hours and after that Shukla Navami. Today's Nakhotra is Shravana Nakhotra and up to 0844 hours and after that Dhanishta Nakhotra. Today is 314th day of the year. There are then 52 days left in 2024. Today is 45th Saturday of 2024. Today is Jagadhatri Ashtami Puja. Jagadhatri or Jagadhatri is an aspect of the Hindu goddess Durga worshipped in the Indian state of West Bengal and other states like Odisha and Jharkhand. Jagadhatri Puja is particularly famous in Chandannagar town of Hooghly district, Krishnanagar of Nadia district and Ichhapur Nawabganj of North Chobbish Parganas in West Bengal, where it is celebrated as a 5-day long festival. Her worship and rituals are derived from Tantra. It is believed that her worship frees her devotees from ego and all other materialistic desires. According to the Purans, Jagadhatri is the incarnation of Siddhidatri. She is also said to be the combined form of Sri Bhuvaneshwari and Durga. In Bengal, her puja is celebrated as the comeback of Devi, specifically in Krishnanagar, Chandannagar, Risra and Guptipara. Today is Services Day. Legal Services Day in India is observed on November 9 each year to promote awareness about the provisions of the Legal Services Authorities Act 1987 and to ensure that justice is accessible to all, especially the weaker sections of society. The day is dedicated to raising awareness about the availability of free legal aid for people who cannot afford it, as part of ensuring the right to justice for every citizen under Article 39A of the Indian Constitution. The National Legal Services Authority (NALSA), along with state level authorities, organizes various activities including legal literacy camps, workshops, and public outreach programs on this day. Today is 35th anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. The fall of the Berlin Wall occurred on November 9, 1989, marking a historic event that symbolized the end of the Cold War and the division between East and West Germany. Constructed in 1961, the Berlin Wall was a powerful symbol of the ideological divide between the Soviet-controlled East Germany and the democratic West Germany. It restricted movement and became a stark emblem of the oppressive regimes in the Eastern Bloc under Soviet influence. In the late 1980s, widespread pro-democracy movements surged across Eastern Europe, driven by the policies of glasnost, openness and perestroika restructuring introduced by Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev. On November 9, 1989, East German authorities, facing intense pressure, announced that citizens could cross into West Berlin. In a momentous display, people gathered along the wall and many began to dismantle it, symbolically and physically breaking down the divide. The wall's fall paved the way for the reunification of Germany on October 3, 1990 and significantly altered the political landscape of Europe, signaling the decline of Soviet influence and the beginning of a new era of European unity. Today is World Freedom Day. World Freedom Day is observed annually on November 9 to celebrate the triumph of democracy and the ideals of freedom. This day was established primarily to commemorate the fall of the Berlin Wall on November 9, 1989, an event that symbolized the end of the Cold War and reunification of Germany, inspiring freedom movements in many countries. In the United States, World Freedom Day honors not only the dismantling of the Berlin Wall but also the courage of those who fought against oppression in the Eastern Bloc, symbolizing a broader struggle for liberty and justice around the world. The day serves as a reminder of the value of freedom and the importance of supporting democratic principles. human rights, and the free societies globally. Today is birth anniversary of Miss Hedy Lamarr, 9th November 1914 to 19th January 2000. Hedy Lamarr was an Austrian-born American actress and inventor. After a brief early film career in Czechoslovakia, including the controversial erotic romantic drama Ecstasy, 1933, she fled from her first husband Frederick Mandel and secretly moved to Paris. Traveling to London, she met Louis B. Mayer, who offered her a film contract in Hollywood. Lamarr became a film star with her performance in the romantic drama Algiers, 1938. She achieved further success with the Western Boomtown, 1940, and the drama White Cargo, 1942. Lamar's most successful film was the religious epic Samson and Delilah, 1949. She also acted on television before the release of her final film in 1958. She was honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 1960. At the beginning of World War II, along with George Antheil, Lamarr co-invented a radio guidance system for Allied torpedoes that used spread spectrum and frequency hopping technology to defeat the threat of radio jamming by the Axis powers. However, the technology was not used in operational systems until after World War II and then independently of their patent. Today is death anniversary of Mr. K.R. Narayanan, 27th October 1920 to 9th November 2005. K.R. Narayanan, full name Kocheril Ramon Narayanan, was the 10th President of India, serving from 1997 to 2002. He was India's first president from a Dalit, formerly untouchable community, making his election a significant moment in Indian social and political history. Known for his intellect, humility, and integrity, Narayanan brought an academic and diplomatic background to his presidency. Today is death anniversary of Mr. Hargobind Khurana, 9th January 1922 to 9th November 2011. Hargobind Khurana, while on the faculty of the University of Wisconsin-Madison, he shared the 1968 Nobel Prize for Physiology or Medicine with Marshall W. Nirenberg and Robert H. W. Hole for research that showed the order of nucleotides in nucleic acids, which carry the genetic code of the cell and control the cell synthesis of proteins. Khurana and Nirenberg were also awarded the Louisa Gross Horwitz Prize from Columbia University in the same year. Born in British India, Khurana served on the faculties of 3 universities in North America. He became a naturalized citizen of the United States in 1966 and received the National Medal of Science in 1987. Today is birth anniversary of Mr. Ronald George Weatherford Norris, 9th November 1897 to 7th June 1978. Ronald George Rayford Norris, 1897 to 1978, was a renowned British chemist for his pioneering work in chemical kinetics and photochemistry. Born on November 9, 1897 in Cambridge, England, Norris developed an interest in chemistry at an early age and went on to make significant contributions to the field. Norris is particularly noted for his development of the flash photolysis technique along with his collaborators George Porter and Manfred Eisen. Flash photolysis allowed scientists to observe extremely fast chemical reactions and the formation of short-lived intermediate species in a reaction process. This technique opened up new avenues for understanding reaction mechanism and the behavior of molecules under various conditions. For his work in chemical kinetics, Norris, along with Porter and Eisen, was awarded the Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 1967. His contributions remain influential, laying the groundwork for further research in photochemistry and kinetics. Norris was known as a passionate educator and spent much of his career at the University of Cambridge, where he taught and inspired generations of chemists. His legacy lives on through the techniques and insights he developed, which have become fundamental to the study of the fast reactions and molecular dynamics. Today is birth anniversary of Mr. Imre Kertész, 9th November 1897 to 7th June 1978. Imre Kertész was a Hungarian author and recipient of the 2002 Nobel Prize in Literature for writing that upholds the fragile experience of the individual against the barbaric arbitrariness of history. He was the first Hungarian to win the Nobel in Literature. His works deal with themes of the Holocaust. He was a survivor of German concentration and death camps, dictatorship, and personal freedom. Today, that is 9th November, highlight in history. 1620, the Bohemian king Frederick I flees Prague to Wroclaw one day after the defeat of his troops in the Battle of White Mountain. 1688, Glorious Revolution, William of Orange captures Exeter. 1719, in a treaty between Sweden and Hanover at the close of the Great Northern War, Sweden cedes the duchies of Bremen and Verden in northern Germany to Hanover. 1720, the synagogue of Judah Hiyazid is burned down by Arab creditors, leading to the expulsion of Ashkenazim from Jerusalem. 1729, Spain, France, and Great Britain signs the Treaty of Seville. 1780, American Revolutionary War. In the Battle of Freesdam Ford, a force of British and Loyalist troops fell in a surprise attack against the South Carolina Patriot militia under Brigadier General Thomas Sumter. 1791, the Dublin Society of United Irishmen is founded. 1799, Napoleon Bonaparte leads the coup of 100 Brumaire, ending the Directory government and becoming first consul of the successor consulate government. 1851, Kentucky marshals abduct abolitionist minister Calvin Fairbanks from Jeffersonville, Indiana, and take him to Kentucky to stand trial for helping a slave escape. 1862, American Civil War. Union General Ambrose Burnside assumes command of the Army of the Potomac after George B. McClellan is removed. 1867, the Tokugawa shogunate hands back power to the Emperor of Japan, starting the Meiji Restoration. 1870, the Battle of Coal Mines ends in a Pyrrhic victory for the French army during the Franco-German War of 1870. 1872, the Great Boston Fire of 1872. 1881, Mapuche rebels attacked the fortified Chilean settlement of Temuco. 1887, the United States receives rights to Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. 1888, Jack the Ripper murders Mary Jane Kelly, becoming his final victim in the Whitechapel murders. 1900, Russian invasion of Manchuria. Russia completes its occupation of Manchuria with 1 lakh troops. 1901, the Prince George, Duke of Cornwall, later George V of the United Kingdom, becomes Prince of Wales and Earl of Chester. 1905, the province of Alberta, Canada, holds its first general election. 1906, Theodore Roosevelt is the first sitting president of the United States to make an official trip outside the country, doing so to inspect progress on the Panama Canal. 1907, the Cullinan diamond is presented to King Edward VII on his birthday. 1913, the Great Lakes storm of 1913, the most destructive natural disaster ever to hit the lakes, reaches its greatest intensity after beginning 2 days earlier. The storm destroys 19 ships and kills more than 250 people. 1914, SMS Emden is sunk by HMAS Sydney in the Battle of Cocos. 1917, the Balfour Declaration is published in the Times newspaper. 1918, Kaiser Wilhelm II of Germany abdicates after the German Revolution and Germany is proclaimed a republic. 1921, the National Fascist Party, Partito Nazionale Fascista or PNF, is founded in Italy. 1923, in Munich, police and government troops crashed the Nazi beer hall Putsch. 1935, the Committee for Industrial Organizations, the precursor to the Congress of Industrial Organizations, is founded in Atlantic City, New Jersey by 8 trade unions belonging to the American Federation of Labor. 1936, American fashion designer Ruth Harkness encounters and captures a 9-week-old panda cub in Sichuan. It becomes the first live giant panda to enter the United States. 1937, Second Sino-Japanese War. The Chinese army withdraws from the Battle of Shanghai. 1938, Kristallnacht occurs, instigated by the Nazis using the killing of German diplomat Ernst von Roth by Herschel Greenspan as justification. 1940, Warsaw is awarded the Virtuti military by the Polish government in exile. 1942, Battle of Stalingrad. German forces of the Sixth Army under General Friedrich Paulus reach finally the river bank of the Volga, capturing 90% of the ruined city of Stalingrad and splitting the remaining Soviet forces into two narrow pockets. 1943, an agreement for the foundation of the United Nations Relief and Revitalization Administration is signed by 44 countries in the White House, Washington, D.C. 1945, Soo Bak Do and Moo Do Kwan martial arts are founded in Korea. 1953, Cambodia gains independence from France. 1960, Robert McNamara is named president of the Ford Motor Company, becoming the first non-Ford family member to serve in that post. He resigns a month later to join the newly elected John F. Kennedy administration. 1963, at a coal mine in Mike, Japan, an explosion kills 458 and hospitalizes 839 with carbon monoxide poisoning. 1965, several US states and parts of Canada are hit by a series of blackouts lasting up to 13 hours in the northeast blackout of 1965. 1965, a Catholic worker movement member Roger Allen Laporte, protesting against the Vietnam War, sets himself on fire in front of the United Nations building. 1967, Apollo program. NASA launches the unmanned Apollo 4 test spacecraft atop the first Saturn V rocket from Florida's Cape Kennedy. 1970, Vietnam War. The Supreme Court of the United States votes 6-3 against hearing a case to allow Massachusetts to enforce its law granting residents the right to refuse military service in an undeclared war. 1971, American banker John List murdered his wife, mother and 3 children with a pair of handguns. 1979, Cold War. Nuclear false alarm. The NORAD computers and alternate national military command centers in Fort Ritchie, Maryland detected purported massive Soviet nuclear strike. After reviewing the new raw data from satellites and checking the early warning radars, the alert is cancelled. 1985, Garry Kasparov, 22 of the Soviet Union, becomes the youngest world chess champion by beating fellow Soviet Anatoly Karpov. 1989, Cold War, fall of the Berlin Wall. East Germany opens checkpoints to the Berlin Wall, allowing its citizens to travel to West Berlin. 1993, study most the old bridge in the Bosnian city of Mostar, built in 1576, collapses after several months of bombing by Croat forces during the Croat-Bosniak War. 1994, the chemical element dermastnium is discovered. 1998, a US federal judge in the largest civil settlement in American history orders 37 US brokerage houses to pay $1.3 billion to cheated Nasdaq investors to compensate for price fixing. 1998, capital punishment in the United Kingdom already abolished for murder is completely abolished for all remaining capital offences. 1999, Taisei Flight 725 crashes near takeoff from the Uruapan International Airport in Uruapan, Michoacan, Mexico, killing all 18 people on board. 2000, Uttarakhand officially becomes the 27th state of India, formed from the 13 districts of northwestern and Uttar Pradesh. 2004, Firefox 1 is released. 2005, the Venus Express mission of the European Space Agency is launched from the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. 2005, suicide bombers attacked 3 hotels in Amman, Jordan, killing at least 60 people. 2012, a train carrying liquid fuel crashes and burst into flames in northern Myanmar, killing 37 people and injuring 80 others. 2012, at least 27 people are killed and dozens are wounded in conflict between inmates and guards at Welikada prison in Colombo. 2014, a non-binding self-determination consultation is held in Catalonia, asking Catalan citizens their opinion on whether Catalonia should become a state and if so, it should be an independent state. 2020, Second Nagorno-Karabakh War and armistice agreement is signed by the Armenia, Azerbaijan and Russia. 2023, US surgeons at NEU Langone Health announces the world's best whole eye transplant. Thank you very much for your patience.